then what would be the reason for a rematch at the same weight? Now, the problem that Terrence Crawford could come across, and this is what people are overlooking, is like what I was getting to earlier. There's no guarantee that he's going to get that fight with Canelo. Now, say Jermell Charlo wins. You think Jermell Charlo is going to go for a 50-50 split? I just beat Canelo. Motherfucker, you coming up to a 168 to fight for my belts, and you got the nerve to talk about what you did at 147 and that motherfucking at 140? Nah, this is my house. You gonna take what the fuck I give you. You think that either one of them, Canelo or Jamel, is gonna go for a 50-50 split? Which means the only route that Spence, that Crawford may have for another big super fight would be a rematch with Spence, and at 54. You understand what I'm saying? Shit. Spence might even fuck around and be like, nah, fuck that, like Floyd was saying. And I do agree that in terms of his size and cutting back on weight, he would be more comfortable at 160 or 168. But what I'm saying, it may end up where the ball is back in Spence court in order for this fight to happen. Because let's just be honest. If Crawford stays at 147, there's no fucking body that I want to see him fight at 147 other than Jerron Boots Ennis. Let's be real. Let's just be real. Who the fuck else do you want to see him fight? And you know the uphill battle for Jerron Ennis is because there's anybody that you name right now, they're going to say Jermaine Ortiz. Anybody that you name. There's nobody that Jerron Boots Ennis could beat that's going to make people convinced that he'll beat Crawford. Yet Crawford can fight the same person and it'll be, oh yeah, that dude is a good fighter. That's just the way people are. They bias as fuck and they always try to, say something to support the fighter that they like to win. So you can't sit here and say that, Jerron Boots Ennis didn't do nothing to deserve it. Well, did David Avanesian do anything to deserve it? Did Amir Khan, the time he fought against Crawford, did he do anything? You can't even call those fights. You can't even call that Amir Khan or that Kell Brook fight legacy fights. These people were damaged goods. Let's not forget, when Kell Brook went up and fought against Triple G and got his eye socket broken, people called him damaged goods. But then when he fought Errol broke the other one. But then all of a sudden, when he fought against Terrence Crawford, they were saying, nah, Brook looking good. How many years was it that since Brook had fought? So wait, he was damaged goods when he fought Errol, but he fought Crawford years after. He wasn't damaged goods. Somehow he was back to top 4 and he was this great fighter. This was a legacy fight. No. This was a guy who was not close to being what he was in his prime. So how the hell was he not damaged goods by the time he got to Crawford? And this is not about taking away from Crawford. This is these fucking idiot fans that say stupid shit and don't think about what they're saying. So now you take all that in consideration. None of those guys did shit. Everybody looked at what they had done in the past and imagined maybe they might come back in top form again in this fight. Who knows, right? So we know you can't take nothing from Crawford. And when Crawford beat, Sean Porter, that didn't even put him in the position he's in now. So it took him to beat Errol to get in the position that he's in. You always hear Antonio Tarver say, without Roy Jones, there's no Antonio Tarver. If I never get this fight with Roy Jones, my career basically ends with, okay, oh yeah, I remember Tarver. Yeah, he even admitted that. It's nothing sensational going on about his career if he doesn't get that name, if he doesn't have Roy Jones' name on his resume. So what I'm saying is Crawford did the work. Yes, he got in there and he tore that ass up. But he needed Errol to say yes. Otherwise, the position he's in right now, he's not there. So if he decides to take the fight at 154 and the fight happens, he may very well do the same shit that Errol Spence. Aries would never fucking tell you what's going to happen as if I know. I do not know. I'm saying look at things for what they are. So if you don't give this man a rematch at 154, so be it. Truthfully, this is what I think. I think that if Errol, now I understand, because as a fighter, if somebody beats you, you want to beat that person. The thing is with Errol, his tactics have to be different. And if the weight was an issue with him, now not only tactically do you have to be different, but if 147 is draining you, what's going to be different? You could change trainers, you can get a new, he already has nutritionists, you can do all that, but what's going to be different? I'm 253 pounds. For somebody to say, I'll fight Aries at 190, not happening. Nah. There's no way at 190 I'm going to be the same. There's no fucking, I'll be ripped up, swollen, all that, but there's no way at 190 I'm going to be the same. And my thing is, I fight at, like, my weight does not slow me nothing. And that's what a lot of people don't even understand. That's why when people have a conversation with me, like, Aries, how the fuck are you that fast, man? And that goddamn strong, right? Yeah, because I can fight at my walk around weight. Because that's how I train. I've never, like, ever since my body was just growing and growing, I grew into that big frame as a young guy. I was like, yeah, that's how I always trained my body. And mentally, I never, I got to be it this way. No, I never wrestled with that shit. So you tell me to fight you at 190, go fuck yourself. Oh, he ducking. Nah, fuck you and fuck that. Ducking what, stupid? Why would I fucking drain myself? And people will shit for $1 million? Yeah, I know, right. And you go in there and wind up looking terrible. Wind up going there getting your ass dusted up real good and proper because all it was about was a payday for you. Nah, you think I want to go embarrass myself? I'm going to drain my fucking self from 253 pounds to 190? Are you fucking stupid? I wouldn't do that shit. Just like Devin Haney said, if he fight Tank and Tank pull this rehydration clause, there's no fight. He's telling you ahead of time. That means he's scared of Tank? No, we fight at 135. We fight at 135. As long as fighting that, we both 135, cool. You know, as long as the weigh-in, but whatever. So you understand what I'm saying? It's one of these things where once you sign to something, and let's be clear, Errol Spence never made any excuses. And I'm not making any excuses for him or anybody. I'm just stating the fucking obvious. You cannot, all right, be that stupid to think that the weight wasn't an issue for Errol when he's the one saying 154. You understand what I'm saying? But again, y'all already fucking counting your eggs before they hatch in terms of Crawford versus Canelo, Crawford versus, Charlo. There's no guarantee. Now take Charlo off the table. Take Canelo off the table. Who's left? And don't think that Terrence Crawford versus Jerron Ennis won't get attention. Oh, it definitely will. So if you're going to stay at 147, why would you not fight them? And then if you're going to stay at 147, then you can't make the claim for Terrence Crawford that he's struggling to make weight. You understand what I'm saying? So if he's struggling to make weight, why would he stay at 147? Right? Why not go up? So that being said, I know for pride's sake, it will be hard for Spence to not take that rematch. But bro, if it's going to be at 147, I think that Errol Spence should just take his ball and go to 154 or whatever weight class he feels comfortable at. Just, hey, fuck it. I took the L. It is what it is. And see what he can do with those other weight classes. And if he can go and fight and look good and get some big wins, so be it. But if it's time for him to hang it up because maybe just the wear and tear caught up with him, that's what we don't know. But that's what it may come down to. Just like I remember Lamont Peterson fighting against Spence and he got the shit beat out of him. And Peterson was a guy that had a lot of respect. Wasn't super popular, but he had a lot of respect. And Spence was one, that was his last fight. So what we've seen happen with him and Terrence Crawford is like, and the ass whooping he took, he might not be the same period coming back. Who knows, right? But my point is, what are you going to do different that you're going to come back to 140, continue to fight at 147, and you're just going to be a different fighter? I just don't see it. So for me, the fact, like I said, that he brought up 154 is like, oh yeah, it's less weight that he has to cut, and I think he feel like he'll be stronger at 154. At the end of the fucking day, though, right? The ball is in Terrence Crawford's court, but Terrence Crawford not fighting Spence might come back to haunt him, where he winds up fighting not being able to get that other mega fight, because understand, him beating Spence had put him in a different stratosphere now. But he's still not Canelo's equivalent in terms of popularity. And to be honest with you, do you really think that Terrence Crawford want to go up to 168 and fight a guy like David Benavidez or Caleb Plant or David Morrell? Do you think he wants to go up there just to fight those? Well, if that's the case, you can definitely stay at 147 and fight against, Jerron Boots Ennis. Benavidez is no superstar. Morrell is no superstar. Caleb Plant is no superstar. Now, if it's a weight issue for Terrence Crawford, he wouldn't have a problem fighting Spence in a rematch at 154. You understand? Like why would he? Now, if it's a weight issue for him, and 147 is not my best division, my best weight right now, he'd be going up, and he wouldn't have a problem with it. So it's obviously he can handle the 147. So even him saying 147 is a little struggle, it's kind of like, well, he's struggling, so am I. So kill that argument. That's probably pretty much what that is. If you're going to continue to fight at 147, when the guy that beats you is saying 154. So more than likely, if Spence was to walk away from this fight, it's because, I want to do it at 154, which means he'd be leaving 147 division. You understand what I mean? So it's like I'm saying, man, it morally is different. I get it. But you can't say that Crawford's doing anything wrong. But if it's about proving to everybody, I beat him once, I'll beat him again. Right? At 154. That's the weight class he chose, and I'll beat him again. What I'm saying, so to not do that doesn't mean he's scared. Scared of what? He kicked Spence's ass. What the fuck would he be scared of? Okay? I don't think Terrence Crawford is scared of Jerron Ennis. I don't think he's scared of, Errol Spence or any of those guys. But it's it's a tug of war. Y'all got to understand. People work hard to get where they are. And I don't care what type of shit they talk. It's the type of thing where they know that, listen, I lose everything. So he could wind up being in a situation where he resort back to going to Spence. I mean, let's look at what Canelo just did. Canelo, after he fought, was it Caleb Plant? No, it was the other guy, John Ryder. Then he ends up, or was it, who did he fight? Then he wound up fighting against Triple G. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, so he knew he had that. You understand what I mean? Or Triple G, then John Ryder. Yeah, he fought Caleb, then Triple G, right? Then John Ryder or whatever. But bottom line is, and he said he had to get surgery. Yeah, it was Triple G, because he said he had to get surgery on his left hand. And then when he came back against Ryder, he said the hand felt good. But the point, what I'm saying is, he fought Triple G 3 times. Now you got people going, yeah, but it makes more business sense. Okay, well then stop talking about legacy when you can support the point that it's, a money fight. Yeah, we get it. 3 times. We get it. So you can't be on the fence about it and then say, oh, but certain guys get the pass because there's more money in that fight. But then the other guys, oh, he's ducking. It's about legacy, not money. And Terrence Crawford might find himself in that position where he's, counting on getting the fight with Canelo, then it doesn't happen. Or Jermell Charlo, depending on who wins. And then, for that matter, what if Charlo and Canelo have a rematch? Then what? You're just going to sit out and wait and cross your fingers and hope that something happens? And again, he's not going to get no fucking 50-50 with Jermell Charlo or Canelo. Whoever wins that fight, he's not getting no 50-50. He's not getting that. So my point is, it doesn't make a difference if he did go up and fight Benavidez, if he did go up and fight, Demetrius Andre, if he did go up and fight David Morrell or Caleb Plant. It doesn't matter if he goes up and does that, even if he wins. You understand? His profile, you got to understand something about boxing, okay? Boxing is not ran by boxing purists. They're ran by businessmen. They're ran by people that care about money. So they don't give a shit about no damn legacy. If right now, if fucking KSI, okay, right now, if Logan Paul, right now, if either one of those guys, okay, was able to generate like Floyd Mayweather type money or Canelo type money, do you fucking think they would hesitate to try to make a fucking fight with one of them versus a Canelo or whatever weight class they can make? Look at what's about to happen with Tyson Fury and Ngannou. And who the fuck is talking about that fucking piece of shit fight? Who? These are businessmen. They don't care nothing about no goddamn legacy. Y'all better fucking wake up and realize that shit. So what you're seeing right now is nothing more than people thinking way ahead, already acting like Canelo versus Crawford is on or Charlo versus Crawford is on. Y'all got to look at what's on the table. And let's just be real. I don't give a fuck how invincible y'all think Crawford may be or whoever. Going up in weight and fighting these guys, he might wind up getting beat by one of these bigger guys, especially the taller, rangier, lengthier guys that crack power, way more power than Errol Spence does, and anybody at 147 or 54. So, to say, oh, he'll beat this guy. Yeah, okay, let's see. Do you think that Terence Crawford really wants to jeopardize the opportunity of getting to a guy like Canelo or Charlo? And do you think that Benavidez, Morrell, or Andre or anybody else is willing to take a back seat because, oh, well, that's Crawford? No. They'll start, hey, well, Crawford, come fight me. No, you think that Crawford's just going to jump up and, notice Mauricio Suleiman? Yeah, well, Crawford don't have no fucking franchise belt where he can just jump up and challenge any champion, can he? Does he? So, no, this is a whole different situation. Looking at all of that, he might basically be better off taking this fight with Spence. Now, it's not an immediate rush that has to happen, but we've heard that Spence have exercised the rematch clause. So, will you fight him at 154 or 47? And I'm saying that because, like I said, if people get in Spence's ear and say, Spence, man, look, you're a soldier, you're a warrior, you agreed to all his terms and took 50-50 for the sake of making the fight happen. Now, in a rematch, he don't want to be as gracious to you. Just accept the L, move on. Your paths may cross later, but it's going to take him to be in a situation where he needs you. You understand? Because he's trying to get the bigger checks. That's what happened, guys. I'm telling you this right now. You see how Crawford was calling everybody out, Spence was calling everybody out. It's the same thing. If Jerron Boots Ennis gets to the point where now he's in Crawford's shoes or Errol Spence shoes or whatever, a Canelo or a Charlo, where Jamel is right now, he's going to do the same thing. Every fighter coming up, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, they're all going to do the same things. Because now I was trying to get to the mountaintop. So I had to fight all these tough guys or try to get to the tough, go through the tough fights to get there, whatever. But now I'm there. I got to pick and choose my spots. So if I'm fighting nothing but champions, and then I see a soft touch, because I want that champion, this is all that they want, the big money fights. It's a monopoly. So y'all can sit up here and act like, it's a guarantee that Canelo versus Crawford is going to happen. Canelo versus or Charlo versus Crawford is going to happen. We don't know that. So this is what I'm saying. This is the boxing business, man. And y'all got to pay attention. And you also got to remember too, okay? You're 35 years old. You've been fighting for a long time. And you know that those banana peel fights can happen. I don't care what they say. They can say, I'll fight anybody. You know how I do. I'll fight anybody, man. I'm just, like whoever. Right. They say that, but then the fight doesn't happen. And then you want to take the side of the fighter you like the most, which means nothing. It's just childish bullshit. But at the end of the day, it's like, why is these fights not happening? Over money. And the same way that Canelo won't take the fight for 50-50, the same way that Charlo's not going to take that fight for 50-50. Okay. If Errol Spence didn't take it for 50-50, Crawford was going to walk. He wasn't going to take anything less. So this is what I'm saying to you. Then you come across a fighter that give you the same medicine that you gave somebody else. So this is just the way it goes. Canelo doesn't need Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? If Charlo wins, okay, he will be undisputed. 2 weight classes. The same way. So can Crawford come to him talking about, oh, I'm undisputed in 2 weight classes? So am I. You understand what I mean? So it means nothing. And on top of that, for him to go up, more than likely, he's going to drop the belts, right? Or they're just going to be gracious and say, okay, nah, you could hold on to all the belts, but you can go to 154. Nah. And then here's the deal. If, I forget which belt is it that, Jerron Ennis is one of his mandatories. Is he going to not fight Jerron Ennis? And if he doesn't, what excuse? Oh, he wasn't scared. He just, no, I don't think he's scared. But my point is, y'all can't call it a duck for somebody else. But, oh, I like Terrence Crawford now because he beat Errol Spence or whatever. So now he's in that. This is what y'all keep doing. Y'all keep going by star status. Who's the more popular in terms of who you like? And then when a fight doesn't happen, oh, but he has the right to this and this is the problem with boxing, all this entitlement. People are fighting, these title eliminators, and yet the fight doesn't happen. People are being given belts and given the opportunity to go up and down in weight, so they're getting way more opportunities than the next person. So yeah, your resume should look better than mine if you have a privileged title and I don't. Yet I'm being avoided. Nobody wants to fight me, but you're getting the fights that you want. And even if you're fighting the B and C class champions as opposed to the A class champions, guess what? You're beating them. So you have more accomplishments than me, but you haven't fought me. You understand what I mean? So in the record books, guess what? You're ranked over me. I'm taking the fights that you won't take. This is what people overlook when it comes to boxing. So for everything that I've been hearing going on, it's just the same thing. You got to twist these guys' arms to get them to fight. When they're hungry, before they get to a certain status, it's real easy to get them to say, yeah, I want this guy. But once they get there, it's like, okay, now I see things different. I keep telling you guys, it's like going from being a floor worker to a supervisor. Guess what? Now your duties have changed. Your expectations are different. Now you become from supervisor to assistant manager. Now it's a whole different perspective that you have of what's going on, right? And now you're in charge of this, and this. Now you become manager. All the responsibility is on you. So now you have a much broader scope overall. But do you get detached from what you know already and be fair to people and treat people with that same respect that you want? Or do you become this, yeah. You understand what I mean? And this is what you see in boxing. Once you get to a certain level, man, and they know this, look, they know they have everything to lose. You know what Jerron Ennis is considered to Crawford? High risk, low reward. Canelo and Charlo are both undisputed champions. If you watch the build up and their little access shows that come on, most people are talking as if Charlo is new to boxing or something and he's finally getting under the bright lights. No, this man has been champion already. This man has been fighting for a long time. Him and Canelo was in the same weight class at the same time. Canelo has more accomplishments, but that's not what the fuck I go by. In terms of the fight, okay, you did this, okay, now, no. Prove that you can beat me. I don't care about them other guys you beat. Prove you can beat me. This is what boxing is about. So I don't understand this little sissy shit about everybody debating over money and arguing over money and y'all picking and choosing sides when it's no. First off, let's understand the details before we start talking about who ducked who and who did what. But at the same time, you got to look at shit for what it is. These fights should happen. It's boxing. The WWE and the UFC has merged, which means there's a lot of firings that's going to go on. People behind the scenes, off the camera. Certain wrestlers at some point going to be let go. Okay? This merger is an entertainment thing. I'm making this point, okay, to get to another one. Do you know when you go to watch professional wrestling, what you're going to watch, right? Whether you realize it or not, you're paying for pay-per-views or a ticket to sit live or sit in your couch and watch at home for the storyline because the fight's not real. So even if you enjoy watching them flip all over the ring, no, it's not real. It's predetermined. So you're actually watching week after week for the fucking storylines, okay? Because guess what? They know who's going to win before you do. And even if it's predictable, yeah, because it's really predictable, right? According to, for the most part, it's not real fighting. So you're tuning in to watch the storylines and build up, and they choose who they want to be champion. Sometimes they listen to the fans, other times they're stubborn. Nope, we don't want him, we want him. When it comes to boxing, okay, if a fight goes the distance, are the judges going to be corrupt? Huh? Is the ref going to be paid off? Huh? Like what? Right? We don't know these things, right? If the guy gets hurt, is the ref going to call it off and not get his guy a chance? How many times have we seen things happen, right? And we see all this shit that people are, oh man, I can't believe it again. All these, right? So it's like with boxing, man. It's one of these things where the fighters are more like, I want what I want to get to where I need to go to. Once I get there, then hey, if I decide to become selfish and stubborn or whatever and not give people the same opportunities that they gave me, hey, so when you say, oh, but a guy like Jerron Ennis ain't done nothing. Well, no, that's not true that he hasn't done anything. He hasn't been able to fight certain guys because they don't want to fight him. Example, look at his situation. If he fought Ugas right now and beat Ugas, what is everybody going to say? Ah, man, Ugas is damaged goods. Look what Spence did to him, right? But look what Crawford did to Spence. Big deal, he beat Ugas. If Crawford, in the position he's in right now, fought Ugas, they wouldn't say that about Ugas. Unless you compare Crawford to a Canelo or another fighter that they like more than Crawford, then they'll say, who the fuck is Ugas? But in comparison to him fighting Ugas versus Jerron Ennis fighting Ugas, then they'll say, yeah, it'll be different then. It'll be different. So you can't fight people, that don't want to fight you. And I think it's very unprofessional because you got people that will punch you in the face to try to do something to get under your skin outside the box arena, try to get in the fight with you in the ring and whatever, and shit like that. That's but people go through all these different steps to try to get where they want to get to. But eventually, like I said, once they get on that pedestal, man, they don't want to let that shit go. They do not want to let it go. So they can sit and say what they want. They can talk confident. They can say what they want. They know it's that if I fall, I may never get this position again, especially the older you get. And it took Crawford his whole career to finally get to this point. You understand what I mean? Come on. It wasn't but a few years ago when Bob Arum was sitting there talking about Crawford can't sell nothing. I'm losing money with Crawford. Let's not forget he was beefing with his own promotion. And they're going back and forth. He can leave now. I don't care. I don't need him. Right? Now look at what he is now. And it's because of out of everything he did, that one fucking fight with Errol changed everything for him. So this is what I'm saying. Now if he thought, well, Dad, you know what? If it wasn't for me fighting Errol, this shit wouldn't have happened. So the least I could do, we could do it again at 154. So we know that there was nothing etched in stone with that so-called rematch clause where it had to be at 154, or that's just what it would be. He wouldn't have a say-so because he already agreed to it. So we know that's not the case. But like I said, morally, that's how people are looking at it. I understand that. I get that. It's like, why not, man? Wasn't for you, I wouldn't have this chance. We could do it again at 154. But again, if he doesn't, it's not that he's wrong, but again, morally, yeah, it's like, damn, I looked out for you. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I brought up Wilder and when I brought up Deontay's situation with Wilder and Fury, is because they had a verbal agreement. And then once Fury, and this is why Fury is always constantly trying to tell everybody how he's a big star and that he's better than everybody else, and these people are trying to get the way he want to get to, and he's only interested in the money. And I played the video and let y'all listen to him make a hypocrite out of himself, telling everybody how I never came back for the money. The money means nothing to me. I mean, I have big house and cars. I don't need this stuff. And contradicted yourself right there. I buy things that I don't necessarily need, but things that I like. Okay, but I'm not gonna go buy something ridiculously stupid. What the fuck do I need 25 cars for? Or you understand what do I need that for? You got people getting gold toilets in their houses, and you understand what I'm saying? Just shit, just because they can afford it. Like, damn, what else could I buy? Well, that's what people do. But he turns around and go from that to saying, I only came back for the money. And I told my attorney, I only want big money fights. That's it. So you went from saying it's not about the money. I don't care about the money. The money doesn't make me. You understand? I've been champion. I've been all those things. I don't care about title belts. I just came back because I like to punch people in the mouth. I had peace of mind when I boxed. And for my story, I want to inspire people. I was obese. I was depressed. And I can come back and get back to this road to glory. But it's about the fights and legacy. He went from all of that to I'm only fighting for the money. And unless I'm getting a boatload of money, I ain't fighting nobody. And as usual, when you call these things out, oh, but Aries, you got to understand, this man got a family to feed. And it's like, hey, listen, you nut hugger. I'm aware of that, which is why I'm saying he's full of shit. Because there's no fucking fighter that comes into prize fighting and don't want the prize. If you do, you're a nutcase. It's as simple as that. You know, there was a fighter back in the day. I forget his dad's name. You know what? Give me a second. Okay, yeah. And I spoke about this guy before. And I just wanted to make sure I was saying his name right. Yeah, it was a guy named James Butler back in the day. James Butler, he fought a guy and I remember his last name was Grant. And he was fighting the guy outboxed and beat him. At the end of the fight, the guy walks over to shake his hand. James Butler sucker punches him, broke his jaw. He got a suspension from boxing, but he was allowed to come back, got reinstated, and they gave this guy a second chance. And by this time, he was already one-dimensional. You know, it was just basically one-dimensional, just walk you down, come in, nothing special about him. But point is, they even gave a second chance to a guy that did that. You guys are all in there trying to make an honest living, so to speak, right? But then you do this. And the fact that boxing, they even allow him to come back. They even allow him. Here's a man coming over to the, hey, man, good fight or whatever, and he just sucker punched him. That dude should never be allowed to box again. And people will say, yeah, but he messed up. He took a suspension and this and this. Well, for y'all that don't know, this guy, James Butler, he was cool with Max Kellerman. I remember this story from years ago, and I didn't know anything about Max Kellerman's brother. Well, he was actually in a music video that Max Kellerman had made, right? His brother was a behind-the-scenes type of guy, whatever. I don't know. He did something musically, whether it was producing videos, whatever it was he was doing. Well, Max Kellerman's brother was real cool with this guy, James Butler. When this dude hit rock bottom and had nowhere to go, and basically boxing was just, he couldn't compete anymore, he wound up staying with Max Kellerman's brother. And basically got to the point where, all right, he let him stay there so he can get back on his feet, find something to do, right? And he couldn't. And so basically the story turns out that he basically didn't want to do anything. He just felt like, I'm just going to sponge off of this guy. Well, for y'all that don't know the story, when he told him he had to go, while he was sitting down doing work or whatever, dude came behind him with what they said believed to be a hammer, struck him in his head 32 times. Then set the place on fire and fled out in the dude's car. And actually, when the cops got him, the story was, hey, man, you know, I had to clear my head. I wasn't sure like what's going on. I'm going through some things, and now my friend is dead and the house burnt down. But bottom line, they realized what happened, and they pretty much locked his ass up. But Max Kellerman lost his brother in the process. Okay? But my point is, a scumbag like that was allowed to even get his license again. So even after getting his license, being reinstated, and boxing didn't go his way, but look at what he ends up doing. You kill somebody that you fucking supposed to have been like best friends with, looked out for you when your own flesh and blood wouldn't look out for you. See, so people feel entitled. Ain't no telling what people would do. Like, you got all these cheats in boxing, right? You got people who, like I said, because of how easy it is for you to put something in your body, even from drinking water. Yeah, don't know how many of y'all saw the video I made about that. Even your drinking water can have something in your system because of people dumping things in the ocean, different things and medicines and stuff, and waste material and all that shit. Yeah, nasty thought, right? And you end up having shit in your system and you haven't took anything. And that's one of the reasons why when I'm always about fair play. When I hear something that's like, I'm not quick to say that person cheated. It's like, let's listen to their side of the story. And when their story don't add up, okay, well, you know what? What I think about that is such and such a thing now. But just initially when I hear something, it's like, okay, another guy. All right, let's see what happens, right? Well, yeah. So my point is, you have people, you don't know what goes through their heads. You don't know what type of shit that they will do, what they'll try to do. All you know is that this person is boxing and that this person is in a position, you understand, where things are not working for them. Or if it is working for them, they don't want to lose their spot. You understand what I mean? So you don't know what length they'll go through to keep it. Just saying. So for the sake of boxing, putting on, we don't know who's who. We really don't. But my point is, if you can give a scumbag like that a second chance, just for boxers, for the sake of boxing and good sportsmanship, man, this is how y'all eat. Take care of each other. Instead of this greedy shit, everybody want the lion's share of everything, and they want it to the point where they want more than what they deserve, or they get to the point where once they get to that mountaintop that they wanted to get to, they don't want to give other people the same opportunity. And so when I look at guys like David Benavidez, Jerron Ennis, all these other guys, man, that's coming up, Frank Sanchez, give these guys their chances, man. Give these guys their chances. Y'all can't sit here and talk about how dirty the boxing business is and how shady it is, but then y'all get in a position where, y'all trying to give people crumbs and y'all want everything. So, just saying, man, what you like that saying, right? It's a saying that you get out what you put in. Not all the time. Not all the time. But I will say, once you find yourself in a position where what you're doing is starting to hold you back, and then you got, years out of your life going by, and then all of a sudden, it's like, damn, it's over before it started, right? And you get to that age where, damn, I can't compete anymore with the elite guys. It's just time to let go. You look back on your career. If it was about legacy, you will have regrets. If it was about money and you made the money you wanted, then you won't. But you always got to understand that shit can still come back to you through other people. Just saying. And I ain't wishing nothing bad on none of them. Now that guy James Butler got exactly what he deserved. Yeah. He murdered Max Kellerman's brother. I don't know if people know that, but it's a lot of things I look at that a lot of people don't look at. All people care about is dramatic, stupid, childish bullshit. So, just saying, yeah, man, give these guys their shots. Stop with all this bullshit where, especially when you know what it feels like when you was on that side of the coin and you acknowledge great talent. And another thing about professional wrestling is it's a fixed sport, okay? It's a dramatized play. It's a circus. It's all this other bullshit. It's everything but an actual sport, okay? It's a show. It's not, but in terms of them really getting hurt and things happen, yeah. And they do some incredible type moves and all that. But bottom line is everything is a work. I'm going to let you spin in the air, do all that shit, land on me, grab my head with your legs and flip me over and all that shit, okay? But you know what these guys do? And you have hateful motherfuckers in there too that like to hold people back. But they go to promote a different company owners and say, listen, you see this guy? I want to work with him. I'm telling you, this guy's good for the company, blah, blah, blah. And the same way, they can do that great thing for somebody and help somebody make money and become a star and feed their families. They can also go to somebody, to the promoter, the owner, and say, I don't like this guy. I don't like working with him. Don't put me anywhere. Look, I don't want him here. All right? I've done so much for this company. Either it's me or him. I don't want this motherfucker here. Or I want him to get the spot over here. Oh, yeah. So they could do some great things here and do some rotten evil things here. And the worst thing about boxing is when the fucking fighters become as corrupt as these fucking promoters, as these powers that be, these sanctioning body owners and presidents and all that. So, yeah, man, I mean, take care of each other. That's what y'all do. One time the police was told to protect and serve, right? Not anymore. So once you start, once those moral codes are wiped away, just saying, man, everybody's a businessman. Tyson Fury went from saying, I'm not a businessman, I'm a fighter. That's what I have a promoter for and all that shit. And then you dumb fans sit there and eat up what he's saying just for him to turn around and now all of a sudden he's a businessman, right? Same man calling Anthony Joshua a model, a GQ model, a bodybuilder. Who's also on the cover of GQ? Tyson Fury, which makes you a model too, just a fat, hairy, bald-headed one, right? Simple. Everybody wants to take shots at everybody, but then when it comes down to it, it's like, you're doing the same thing. What the fuck are you talking about? But y'all won't check these guys. Oh, I like him. It's okay. He gets a pass. No. Too much drama. Too much drama. So y'all go out and let me say this before I say that. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Tyson Fury should drop the WBC title. Then he can go fight Francis Ngannou. He can go fight Ken Shamrock if y'all can find him. Okay, he can go and have an intergender fight with Ronda Rousey. He can do whatever. But he will no longer be a part of holding up the heavyweight division. Here's the sad part, though. If not Fury, they'll just find somebody new to hold up the heavyweight division. Because in all honesty, that's all it's come down to now is the almighty dollar, to where legacy has taken the backseat long time ago. And that's just the sad reality about boxing. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.